Here we go, we're going to have a close look at the Superchargers Skylanders vehicles. I want to get a feel for how they work as toys in their own right. If we whiz this along the table, it has a real nice motion to it, and each of these vehicles has a bit of articulation. I think the characters themselves look really nice. The Gill Grunt in the background there, dive clops, which we revealed today as well. There's a real sense of style to them, and also sort of presence and playfulness, particularly like the new version of Terrafin 2. So let's get our first character, Deep Dive Gill Grunt, on the portal and have a look at some gameplay. So as you can see, visually things have really sort of picked up. There's a lot of sort of procedural animation and detail in the background as we get a look at quite a powered up version of Gill Grunt here, creating lots of wave attacks. Obviously that hovering ability still is a major part of the character, even though he has been redesigned. It's not like a Series 1, Series 2, Series 3 version. This is a completely new iteration of Gill Grunt. So let's get Hot Streak on the portal. As you can see, the vehicle's wheels move, nice translucent, really feel like you want to whiz it along the carpet. In the game, we're going to see Hot Streak come in, and some new levels as he hops from balloon to balloon with these massive flying, are they dragons, are they dinosaurs underneath him? And you get a sense for the level of variety, the different sorts of spaces you'll be playing in. And having raced up to these monsters, we're now actually on the back, and as you can see, these fins here are the spines of a massive monster as we race and bump our way along the scale. Some really nice terrain effects there. Now, this is Shark Shooter Terrafin. Really like the look of this Skylander, and I've always liked Terrafin, but this powered up version with that really meaty shark missile launcher is just too hard to resist. And in the game, as you'll see, those rockets are just really powerful and effective, and more than that, they just look amazing. We're just going to go through some of the Skylantis level here with Terrafin. You see he makes quick work of these enemies with a variety of those rocket attacks, and also this big sort of charge hammer blow that he brings down on them. You've got lots of different options. If you hold down your button, you can also fire rockets into the ground and they come down raining from above. That brings us to Reef Ripper, another nice articulated toy, lots of sort of play value there, and of course this is the perfect pairing with Deep Dive Gill Grunt. So if you have the two in there, you get some extra bonuses. And again, here we're seeing some more new levels, an underwater section here where you happen to go a little bit slower, a little bit more puzzling. You work your way through collecting these different cogs, which obviously help you then upgrade the vehicle. And it's a real sort of sense that there's some ebb and flow to the game as well as you're progressing. It's not all about button mashing and fighting, but there's some careful sections that you need to navigate with plenty of care. And Reef Ripper is obviously making light work of this. Plenty of agility and plenty of speed. And perhaps case in point, we've got a level here where there's much more combat, much more action and shooting, where he's using his Reef Ripper's missiles and lightning attack that has an area effect, and also keeping moving, and you can jump out of the water and go under the water to avoid enemies. Some will be able to attack you when you're above, and some will be able to attack you when you're below. Now let's move on to Spitfire here as we get him on the portal. You can see there's a real variety of attacks again. I love the fact that although it's a fire Skylander, those flames are blue. Of course, flames can be blue in real life, and that corresponds to a whole load of different attacks, whether that's the sort of the jumping or the fighting. And look at this! I've not seen this guy before. A sort of a mid-level boss. I love the sounds he's making, and I love the way he's constructed, sort of out of glowing light. Surrounded by tin armour. So Spitfire though making pretty quick work of him, and we move into another level, and you can see it's much darker here. So Spitfire's flames have been upgraded, and they are here the sort of red and yellow, and illuminating the level around him. I think Skylanders Superchargers does have that edge over previous Skylanders games. As you see in the distance, some of the architecture. And this piece I really like. There's a puzzle here, but I like the way that the puzzle also then resolves by constructing this gong. As Spitfire puts it together, he can ring the gong and complete that section. So rounding off the vehicles, of course we've got Sky Slicer here, get that on the portal. And although we have seen quite a bit of Sky Slicer before, it's interesting to see the vehicle flying through some different levels. We saw this earlier when we were driving over the back of this dragon, but here we've got this optional route over where we can fly. So there you go, that rounds off our look at some of this gameplay footage of the vehicles and some hands-on with the toys themselves. Of course, we've got loads of Skylanders, Disney Infinity, LEGO Dimensions content on the channel, so do subscribe. But for now, that's all we've got time for.